On July 4th, 2025, Kerr County, Texas was hit by a massive storm system that unleashed relentless rain across the region. These floods are considered among the deadliest inland flood disasters in U.S. history in decades. During the height of the flooding, the Kerrville 911 system was so overwhelmed that many calls went unanswered or were delayed. Not because responders weren't trying, but because there were simply more simultaneous life-threatening emergencies than the system was designed to handle. This is number 7 of 7 special episodes in our series honoring the men and women who responded to the rescue and relief efforts during that catastrophic event. Welcome to the Real ResQ Podcast, part of Vertical Magazine's Helicast family. We are honored to be alongside the Hangar Z Podcast, the Helicopter Podcast, Valor Flight Crew Podcast, and Vertical MRO Podcast. You can discover every show at verticalhelicast.com. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Vertical Magazine and all the other sponsors who made these in-person interviews possible, including Breeze Eastern, the world's only dedicated helicopter hoist and winch provider. Check them out at breeze-eastern.com. Axness, trusted provider of mission-critical wireless intercom system for over 30 years. Learn more at axness.com. Ready Bar. This is not your everyday bar. This is a mission-ready meal bar because one bar equals one meal. Check it out at getreadybar.com, and when you check out, use the promo code RESQ10 for 10% off. And as always, if you want to help support this podcast further, go to the realresqstore.com and check out what we've got for great swag. It is now time to get into the last episode in this series. This is with a guy who might be a little afraid of heights, and he's not sure how he quite made it this far. He has a 1999 Land Rover Discovery 1 that he works on in his spare time, and his sister named Lola. His favorite movie of all time is Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. He is also the same guy credited for helping 165 people from Camp Mystic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer number 1096, Mr. Scott Ruskan. My name is Jason Quinn. I am United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer number 500. These are my rescues and rescues from those of us that put our lives on the line every day so others may live. This is the Real ResQ Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real ResQ Podcast. This episode has been in the works for quite a while, and there are a ton of people who have been reaching out to me over and over and over saying, we want to hear a story. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer number 1096, Mr. Scott Ruskan.
Hey, Quinny. Thanks for having me on the podcast,
Dude,
man.
I'm friggin' stoked to have you. Before we get into your story, I'm honored to be sitting with you. Well done. I've seen a lot of your stuff online. You've done a very good job handling yourself with all the media after your very first rescue.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Dude,
yeah.
it's insane. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read your award because you earned yourself a Distinguished Flying Cross from that day. And here's what this says. Citation to accompany the award of the Distinguished Flying Cross. To Scott C. Ruskan, Aviation Survival Technician, 3rd Class, United States Coast Guard. Pedasser Ruskan is cited for extraordinary heroism while participating in aerial flight as a rescue swimmer aboard Coast Guard helicopter 6553, conveniently enough, directly behind us as we record in the Corpus Christi hangar. Friggin' awesome. On 4 July 2025, Camp Mystic in Kerrville, Texas, was devastated by a catastrophic flash flood as the Guadalupe River rose an astonishing 26 feet in just 45 minutes, sweeping away cabins and stranding over 200 campers. Facing these dire circumstances, extreme precipitation, near zero visibility, and the daunting challenging of rising terrain, he launched on the first Coast Guard aircraft, making 3 perilous attempts to reach the survivors. Facing rising floodwaters and unstable terrain, Petty Officer Ruskan volunteered to remain on the ground at the critical moment in the rescue operation, putting his own safety at great risk to save the lives of others. As the sole first responder at the chaotic Camp Mystic evacuation landing zone, Petty Officer Ruskan overcame crippled communication and dangerous conditions to triage survivors and expertly coordinated the evacuation of 169 people. Working with a dozen rotor wing aircraft from the Department of Defense, federal and state partners across 2 landing zones, he demonstrated extraordinary leadership and composure despite harrowing circumstances. Guiding groups of children and counselors through the treacherous, debris-strewn floodplains, he instilled calm amidst the chaos and ensured their safe passage to the awaiting aircrafts. Petty Officer Ruskin's actions, skills, and heroism were instrumental in the rescue of 169 people. His courage, judgment, and devotion to duty in the face of hazardous conditions are most heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. Who fucking raw, dude?
Yeah, buddy.
Damn.
That's the write-up. Yeah, that's all she wrote.
First friggin' rescue. Holy smoke, dude. All right. Before we go in there, let's learn a little bit about you, man. Where are you from? What brought you into the Coast Guard and being a swimmer, dude?
First thing, originally from Oxford, New Jersey. Kind of out west in New Jersey, if anyone's from there or been there. We're really not near the beach. We're not really that close to the city. We're kind of like in the woods in like that northwest corner. So you're close to everything, which is nice. Like you're
Parkway or Turnpike?
Neither. It's like Route 80 kind of. Yeah. So it's kind of middle of nowhere.
Right on.
But it's like, you're like an hour from the city. You're an hour and a half from Philly. You're an hour from the beach. In the winter, you're an hour from the mountains up north, like going snowboarding and stuff. So you're kind of like centrally located, which is super fun. Family's all from there. Family's basically either from New York or New Jersey. So a bunch of like Italian Long Islanders, pretty much.
Awesome.
Yeah. So originally from there, went to high school, graduated there. Ran track and cross country. Did karate, did soccer, played football, basketball, kind of just did a bunch of random sports. Basically anything I could get myself into.
Awesome.
Going from there, went to college, ran track and cross country in college at Rider University. It's like a small mid-major Division I school in New Jersey as well.
Nice.
Ran track there, did like the 800, the mile, the 3,000 steeplechase were kind of like my best events. Going from there in the summers, I'd be lifeguarding all the time. Lake Opakon State Park, so that's also in New Jersey. Yeah, Jersey guy, whatever.
That's so fun.
So that's like the biggest lake in New Jersey at the state park there. So it's like the busier state park. So we got a little bit of action, which was like fun, and kind of I think I got like my itch for like the search and rescue aspect of my current career. And then going from there, like, graduated college. When I was maybe like a sophomore, junior, I was majoring in accounting at the time. Ended up finishing my degree, had 2 internships. They were fun. They were good. Liked them.
What's your degree in?
Accounting.
Oh God, you're a numbers guy.
Yeah. So I was an accountant, I guess, before the Coast Guard. I did tax accounting for one internship. The other one was doing audit in New York City. So kind of had like a pretty good experience, like business wise.
You had a total desk job. Oh my God.
I was a desk junkie for a little bit, I guess.
And you were like, absolutely not. This is not where I want to be.
Yeah, like I had the first internship and it was fine. Like the people I worked with was good. Same thing with the second one, like good people you're working with, but like the job isn't just super fulfilling. And I think for me, just going from like being an athlete for the last, I don't even know, like 12 years of my life.
Yeah.
And then also lifeguarding in the summers and being active and just being like a people person. I was like, how the heck can I, have that whole resume of like being an athlete and doing all these fun jobs and stuff, and then gonna be an accountant.
You would have turned into like the movie The Accountant.
Yeah, maybe.
Ben Affleck. Like,
yeah, right.
That would have been you.
Yeah,
what?
Well, pretty close. I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go join the Coast Guard now.
Oh,
so I was like, I think I was like a junior or a sophomore maybe. Took a Homeland Security course. One of my professors for it ends up being in the Coast Guard. He's a gold badge reservist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Mike
Wow.
Rosati, super cool dude. He's like super good friend of mine, kind of like my mentor, and kind of got me into the Coast Guard in a way. Just kind of like I reached out to him, asked him about like a bunch of stuff, and long story short, when I was lifeguarding in Lake Opakon, I was with my buddy like in the first aid room, and we were just like watching videos on our phones on YouTube, and there was an A School class video, and I was like, whoa, what's this? Like kind of like that. It's kind of like piqued my interest in it, and you know, going from there, I was like, hey, this seems like really cool. Like, I think I could probably do it. Like, they look like they're just like PTing and having fun in the pool. Like, that's like basically all we do lifeguard anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could totally do that. And at the time, he was training for like Ranger School in the Army. So I'd work out with him and kind of do some stuff there. And I was like, oh, I could totally do this. And, you know, went to my buddy Mike at the time, reached out to him. I was like, hey, I think I want to go be a rescue swimmer. I don't really know what that entails yet. I have a good idea just from what I've read online, but like, I know nothing. Like, no one is my family's in the Coast Guard. I don't know anyone in the Coast Guard besides him. So just kind of, he got me in touch with some of the guys from Atlantic City, some of the rescue swimmers down there. We got an air station tour. And I think from there, the rest is history. And, you know, graduated school, enlisted in the Coast Guard right after graduation, and went to the, you know, the swimmer pipeline, if you would.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then, you know, after, you know, go to boot camp, graduated boot camp in November of 2021, I believe.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so maybe like, yeah, about 4 years ago. So graduated
That's
boot camp.
awesome.
Yeah. Graduated boot camp about 4 years ago. And then from there, got stationed at Petaluma, California as an airman. So it was just at the like dumb luck timing of when the school kind of broke down, like when they had the problem with the E-City pool.
Oh, yep. And then
Yeah.
they moved it to Petaluma, right?
Yeah, so
Yep.
I graduated boot camp basically the same time that was all going on. Like they had one class wrapping up or maybe getting canceled at E-City when they moved the school to Petaluma. So all the airmen that wanted to be airmen per se at boot camp, they sent us all to Petaluma, like 25 of us in a row.
Oh,
So
wow.
I showed up to Petaluma and there was like 24 other airmen. I was the last one to show up. So yeah, it was quite the experience. We had a good time with those guys and a lot of
what
training.
a trip.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's super cool. We had you know, two mentors while I was there. Really three. We had Chief Lopez, Randy Lopez was there. Michael Franklin was their mentor, and then at the back half of it was Abe Heller. Chief Heller was our like final mentor while I was there. So kind of had those three guys to guide me, kind of just get me ready for school and kind of get all of us ready for school. So
Sweet.
yeah, and then yeah, you know, was in Petaluma for 2 years and change.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot going on over there, but it was fun. Like it was cool. We were either working at the barracks, just doing like remedial tasks to take time away in between training, and then I got sent up to the police department, which ended up being like security forces after. Super fun. That was a great spot. That was, yeah, because you were like basically like we'd call ourselves like ME4s because we weren't like an ME3, but we were like kind of doing the same role.
Like military.
Like maritime enforcement specialists.
okay.
Yeah, so like the whole yeah, sorry. So the police department up there, all MEs, so they're all maritime enforcement specialists. There's maybe like 7 or 8 of them.
Okay.
Mostly thirds, 1 second, and then a chief. So that's like kind of like the structure breakdown. And then you had like 5 non-rate airmen.
And that was all you guys.
Yeah, so that was
Oh
us.
my
So we
God,
kind of
that's
filled.
funny.
Yeah, so we just kind of molded into those guys. And you know, the chief up there, Chief Perez, he gave a lot of time for us to PT and work out on our own, which was super appreciative because yeah,
that's cool.
definitely helped me for sure. Where you know, as long as everything was getting done in the shop and you know up there at the police department, he was like, "Yep, go swim, dude. Like, do what you gotta do. Like, I got it. Like, we'll figure it out the rest of the day." So he was super supportive of all of us airmen, and you know, definitely made it possible to like get through school and stuff. So,
man, that's awesome, dude.
yeah.
And then you get here.
Yeah. Past school, for me took 2 tries. So
Really?
yeah. I got re-rolled. So
What does that mean? Because so for us, so I'm thinking about my day. So if we got hurt or injured, we could be rolled back, and then you'd have to start all over again. Is
Right.
that same?
yeah, so they've kind of changed the program a little bit, like the timeline of like the phases. I think since you've been through. So phase 1 is EMT phase. So you do, you know, your EMT, NREMT, the Coast Guard EMT, all that medical trainings, that first phase, as well as like workouts in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, maybe like 2-3 hours a day. And then phase 2 is rescue swimmer phase. So that's, you know, all your tests, your escapes, your releases, your approaches, the basket, the sling, multis, all that stuff is in phase 2. So I made it through phase 1 pretty well. No issues there. Phase 2, ended up failing the 1-man. I got all 3 attempts. I lost like a lot of weight, wasn't super strong, wasn't super confident, failed that test miserably. Chief Lopez, I think, wrapped me up like 8 times on the one man in a row. Yeah, he just kept grabbing me. I couldn't get him off, and I'd like do like a weak little baby throw, and then he'd be like, "That's not it," and just wrap me back up. So yeah, it was definitely humbling for sure. Getting out of the pool that day, just being like, damn, just totally failed A school. 4 years of trying to get through school, and I just failed it on one test.
Oh my God, what a mind job, dude.
Yeah, so definitely a little challenging there. Went to Senior Chief Cleary's office, talked to him about it. He pulled me and another guy in. He's like, hey man, like you guys have been good, like basically until this week. Like what's wrong? And I told him, I was like, yeah, I just lost a lot of weight. I'm feeling pretty weak and just like not myself. He's like, cool. You got 4 weeks until the next class gets back to phase 2, like the class right behind us.
Yeah.
So I started in 0324. And then I got rolled into 0424. So they were about 4 weeks before they got to phase 1. Senior Chief gave me the option of taking the rephasal. So basically it just means you get rolled into the previous class, the one right behind you.
Yep.
So he gave me the option. He's like, hey, you were about 6 weeks into phase 2. Had kind of done the 1 week beat down where you just get your butt smoked for a week straight. Made it through all the other tests. He's like, hey, you got to start day 1 to phase 2 again.
Dang, so you got to get beat down all over again.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a mind job right there, man. Good for you for battling through.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think the most challenging part was the rephasal time, not actually going back to school. I think like that 4 weeks, I tried to gain as much weight as I could in 4 weeks. I put on like 21 pounds.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just basically just doing like 2 mass gainer shakes a day, 15 grams of creatine a day, just like whatever I could, like eating as much as I could just to like put on some weight.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what really did it for me was, I'm not like a big dude to begin with, right? Like I ran track and cross country, like pretty lean. So I think just having the extra strength and a little power really helped me that second time through. But yeah, like I was saying, like just getting rephased and knowing like for those 4 weeks, like while I'm training again, it's like, wow, I have to do every day where I thought, wow, I'm not going to make it and somehow made it through that day. I got to do all those days over. And it's like, wow, like I barely thought I made it to week 6. Like I got to do it all over again. Definitely
6 weeks in, and you got to do all over again.
Yeah, definitely
Smoke,
challenging
dude.
for sure. Maybe it was 5 weeks or so, but something around there.
Either way.
Yeah, made it through approaches, escapes and releases, the basket, the sling, the litter, now onto the one man, right? So like made it decently far.
Yeah.
And then I just remember like rolling back. Ended up happening was basically half of our original class got re-rolled anyway into that class.
No way.
Yeah, it was me, Stratton, McKnight, and Medler. So 4 of us got re-rolled from our original 03 class into 04.
Dang.
So like, yeah.
Did you guys all make it?
3 of us did. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
on you guys.
Yeah. So Medler, I think something happened. I think he just failed his PT test like on the final, and then McKnight failed the final multi.
Oh.
So like
Tough.
Yeah. So then I started week 1. I think Medler and me, I believe it was maybe me and McKnight. We had to do day 1, phase 2 all over again, and that whole week. And then Medler was able to roll in like maybe like a week in, just based on like availability in the class.
Yeah.
Like the pool's pretty small, so they started with a full 16 in phase 2.
Oh wow,
so
that's a lot.
Yeah, so because a few people had dropped, but they had 4 of us roll back in.
Yeah.
So it kind of allowed like a full class to start back up. So I think for me, like that, just that 4 weeks, just like thinking to myself, like, man, this is gonna, like, I thought the last 6 weeks was hard, and now I have 4 weeks to think about how hard it's gonna be again. I think that could definitely be a mind battle for a lot of people. It was for me. Like, It was definitely pretty hard. And then I just remember doing day 1 again. I was like, that's what I was worried about, because I'd already made it 6 weeks through phase 2. Like you're already like in pretty decent shape when you get 6 weeks into phase 2.
Oh yeah.
So that like initial beatdown like wasn't as bad because I'd already gotten pretty strong from the last 6 weeks of school. So it just goes to show, they definitely know what they're doing at the A school, where they can where you do it 4 weeks ago and you're like, this is the most miserable thing ever, and you do it again, you're like, that's what I was worried about, man. Like, come on.
Hey, real quick, can you give me a comparison from your like D1 days? And again, D1 athlete, good for you, dude. But like some of the workouts that you had during your time in college to now, what were they similar? Were they like
I think they're more in college. It was focused, right? So, the only focus we have is running.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Track and
Yeah.
sprint
So I mean, I was like a middle distance guy. We had a super good coach. He's still coaching there now. My sister's still on the team.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Good for her.
She's still running there. Coach Bob Hamer, shout out Hamer, the man.
I like it.
Yeah, he's just like such a cool dude, and like what a good coach. Where like he was just very like a lot of Division I programs. Maybe they just run a ton of mileage, right?
Yeah.
So you're running like 90 miles a week, which sounds crazy, but like in the track collegiate world, that's it. Like it's not like that's not that crazy. But for our program, like a lot of guys, like maybe weren't like studs in high school, like, 4-star recruits per se, or like I wasn't on scholarship or anything. I was like a recruited walk-on, if you would. So like coach reached out, I reached out to them. Was like, hey, I'd love to run for the team, love to be a part of it. Didn't have any money involved. Like literally just was like, I just want to be on the team. Like, can I get a spot? And they're like, yep, we got you. Like you're recruited, whatever. But like, we don't have any money. I was like, cause I wasn't that fast in high school. Wow. I was like maybe like a 4:30 miler.
That's freaking smoking.
Yeah, and in Jersey, it's not that fast. I don't know
if I've ever been under 5 minutes, ever.
Yeah, in New Jersey, that's like slow. That's like not that fast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it just depends on
what
like the state.
What are they feeding you guys in Jersey?
I guess a lot of corn, man. Some Jersey corn.
No, that's out west.
Yeah,
Jersey. Crab cakes. Crab cakes.
Dude, crab cakes. Yeah, some good seafood. But just going back to like those workouts, like I think a lot of them, like I was saying, like they were just focused. Like it wasn't just about running like a ton of mileage. Like maybe it'd be like sprint intervals. Yeah. Could be anything from like a quarter mile to like a half mile. So like a 400 or 800 meter, sprint or whatever. You're doing repeats, maybe like a minute or two rest, maybe 10. Yeah. So like classic workout. I'll do a classic workout. That we'd love to do is like 16 400s. So we just do 16 400s with a minute rest in between. So pretty short rest, and the rest is a jog. So like you're doing like a minute jog while you're just waiting for that minute timer to go, and then you get back on the line, then rip another 400. So like that would be at like, I don't even know, like let's say that's at like your goal for your 5K pace or something. So whatever your 5K goal pace is, like you do that pace for the workout. So everything was like pretty
regimented and designed to
totally
times.
Yeah, like we'd be running in different groups, so like like the top guys who were they had either more potential or they were just in better shape or whatever it was, they would be in that upper group, maybe running, let's say 70 seconds for a 400. And then the next pack right behind them would be running like 72. So it's only a 2-second gap, but that's a whole nother group running.
Wow.
And then you'd have another group, like our group would be like 73. So it's like you're talking like a 1-second gap, but you're in your own training group because that's what the designed like program and like what coach has kind of written up for you.
Interesting.
So yeah, a lot of times it's not better to be faster. You know, like it's like better just to like run what's on the paper. And then if like down the road you're ready to move up a group, or like you've been running really good and racing really well, boom, okay, yeah, sweet, maybe you'll move up a group. But like the time to decide if you want to move up a group is not in the workout, right? Like you want to run the workout as it's designed. I definitely got caught up in that a lot of times where I'd be like, no, I got to rip it. Like I got to be faster than everyone. And then, I just either get hurt or like I'd be smoked on number 15 of the 400s, and then the other guys would go right by me. So just like, at least for that training in college, it was very structured, very planned, very thought out. And it worked for a lot of us. Yeah. Like I got my mile time down pretty good. I was pretty good at the steeplechase. Steeplechase, the whole, I don't know if there's any like track guys watching, but like
that's the one you jump over stuff through water and and then you got to run the track like 3 times and little obstacles on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty challenging one. I just feel like you have to be athletic, which maybe sounds bad to like the cross country track crowd, but like a lot of us are not athletic people. Like we're just good at running. So the fact that like I grew up like playing a lot of other sports and like did karate and basketball and soccer and played a little football. And just being like an athlete, like I was naturally like pretty okay at the steeplechase because like, hey, maybe I wasn't like the fastest runner, but I was athletic and like kind of gritty. Yeah. Which is what you need for a steeplechase, right? Like you're jumping over barriers and you're sprinting in between. You got to get soaking wet and you're like fighting people elbow to elbow, jumping over things. And then you have 2 miles of that. So
that
it's
just
like,
sounds like going into swimmer school. I mean,
yeah, basically, yeah. I think
it's underwater. You're just getting,
you got to hold your breath a little bit in steeplechase.
Getting flogged in the pool, whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's like definitely. I think that maybe not prepared me for swimmer school, but definitely was like looking back, like that's definitely a sign of like, oh yeah, that did prepare me. Yeah, in a way, just being gritty. and just kind of having like a no quit, like you got it, like distance running, you just got to figure it out. Like it's just you out there.
Yeah.
You're not listening to music. You're not like chatting with your buddies. Like you're running a race, like, it's competitive and it's mostly all in your head. So I think that definitely translates to swimmer school. I think like just the same environment of like, it's on you, it's in your head, it's gritty, and you got to figure it out. So that definitely relates. So.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, well done all the way through. Kind of funny side story and side note here is that as I was doing a little research on you and like what you had done, and I was actually researching a couple other things, and all of a sudden I come up to Alexander.
Oh, Austin Alexander,
the battle bus. And he was like, I'm going to go join the Coast Guard and I'm going to be a rescue swimmer for a day and I'm going to jump into the pool. And you were one of the guys there for the week he was there.
Right.
And I did smile as I watched him struggle, which most people that don't or have never used a masked fin and snorkel, they choke because they don't get it. And to try to jump in to figure it out in like the first week, you're like, yeah, I can see. So he's all choking a little bit. I'm like, oh God, dude.
Poor guy. Dude, he was such an awesome dude to like come to A school. So we were in phase 3 at that point. So we had all passed the final multi.
Nice.
We all knew where we were going at that point. Like I knew I was coming to Corpus. Everyone knew where they were going. Everyone had their swimmer numbers. Like we were pretty much like at the home stretch. And then Chief Moore comes by and he's like, hey, like, we've been talking about this for a few months with you guys. Like, I kept saying, don't quit, otherwise you're not going to get in the YouTube video. And like, now we're here, right? So he's like, hey, like,
what great motivation.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he's awesome, Chief Moore. So like, yeah, he was just like chit chatting with us and he's like, yeah, like Austin's going to come here for a day. And like, here's what the workout is. Like, I'll tell you guys ahead of time. It's not going to be that hard. Like, and we were at phase 3. So like, we're all in like really good shape at this point. And we looked at each other like, that's the workout. We were like he's going to get smoked, but we're like, thank God he's here. Like, so because we'd had done some like pretty hard like water con.
Thank God he's here because it's about to get easier for us.
Literally, yeah. And he asked us too. Like he was a super cool guy, Austin. Like super nice. Talked to him since the case and since the video came out and stuff. And super nice dude. But I remember talking to him and he was like, hey, like a lot of times like when he goes to these events and like goes to these trainings, the instructors like turn up the notch a little bit because they want to make it seem like really hard and challenging, which is totally fair. Like I don't blame him. Like I would do the same thing. Yeah. And then he's like, so how is it for me? Like, you think they're going to turn it up? Like, we're like, dude, no, this is going to be the nicest week we've had in A school since we started. Like, thank God you're here, bro. And yeah, like we got done and like, he asked us, he's like, was that really hard for you guys? And we're all like smiling at each other. Like, dude, you can come to school any day you want. Like, please. Yeah. Cause it was like a normal workout. Like we did a little bit of land PT. We did a PTA test, a couple sprints in the pool, a little bit of water con. We did like a 25 buddy brick and and like 4 30-30s. It's like anyone who's been to school or like training for school, they know like, they're like, oh, okay.
No, that's not too bad.
And now you have a bunch of guys who have like taken the final. The week prior, we're trying to push the envelope a little bit and like see how long we could do a buddy brick for. So I think we just did like a 150 the week prior.
Oh my God.
So like
good on you guys.
So the fact that they were like 25, we were like, okay, yeah, sounds great. Yeah. So, but like credit to him too. Cause like, yeah, we've been training for 3.5 years for this.
Wow.
So like, just to put back in perspective, it's like, like, yeah, we're in good shape and whatever, but like, yeah, because we've been training for 3 years. Alex just jumped in one random day and said, I'm going to go to A school. So I give him a lot of credit, honestly. Like he did super well for the absolute zero preparation he could have done for A school. So yeah, shout out to him, man. It was super fun and it was cool. It was a cool experience to film with him and stuff. So
like I said, it was kind of a random for me as I'm searching a bunch of other stuff and you included, and I'm like, oh my God, of course he's there. Not only is he on this rescue, but he's also there during A school. And I was relating it to a few things of my own, like throughout my career, and I just laughed. I enjoyed it. So, but all right, man, let's bring you into July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, because from what I understand, if I remember correctly, you were going to be oncoming duty on one of those days before the alarm went off. So, my friend, take it from there. We're going to divert real quick to thank our sponsors.
Breeze Eastern. For over 80 years, Breeze Eastern has designed and manufactured battle-proven aerial rescue hoists, winches, and cargo hooks. Each product is carefully crafted to support demanding mission scenarios. ensuring the job gets done safely and efficiently. Visit them today at www.breeze-eastern.com. Axnis. The Axnis P&G wireless ICS system delivers cutting-edge wireless ICS technology to any aircraft. As a fully integrated system or as a carry-on, carry-off mobile base station, the P&G wireless system is the right solution for any mission.
And Ready Bar. Originally made for astronauts, now designed for first responders and built for you. This high-performance meal bar provides complete nutrition without the sugar crash. A must-have for any helmet bag, swimmer bag, or everyday pack. Get yours today at getreadybar.com and use the promo code RESQ10 for 10% off. Ready Bar. Zero crash. All fuel.
Yeah, so pretty normal duty rotation. I was talking to our first class, Rob, about, I think he was talking to me about the schedule, and he's like, hey, I'm going to put you on, the 3rd into the 4th, because that's when like all the knuckleheads are out in the bay and out, getting lost on the 4th of July, having a pyro accident or something like that. Like, chance of you getting like a little something would be cool. Because at this point, I've been qualified for like 6-7 months, haven't gotten a case, been staying duty, been doing like 5-6 duties a month. Since
just
then.
hadn't gotten
yeah,
one
just
yet.
hadn't just dumb luck.
Watching the other guys get launched, and you're like, oh,
yeah, like
that's not my day.
Yeah, I got canceled on a few like pretty real ones, but like a boat was able to pick them up, or we flew on one. Me and Ian flew on one like a couple days prior. Where we saw a boat going down, and we were like I was putting my fins on, I was like ready to go out the door, and then we see the small boat come up, and we're like,
son of
we're not the best asset anymore. We can't deploy the swimmer. Me and Ian were like, he's like, dude, I'm sorry, Scott. Like, I'd love to deploy you, but like, we really just shouldn't. I was like, dude, it's okay. I get it. Like, I'm not mad about it. I'm glad the people are okay. Like, that's the most important thing.
Exactly.
And yeah. So that was like,
but that's our job. It's I'm sorry you're having a bad day, but this is what I train for. I want to get
I want to do it. I want to do the job, right?
Put me in, coach. I can do it.
Yeah. So that might have been on like the 29th or the 30th, maybe of June, something like that. It was like just right before. Rob put me on the schedule, for 3rd into the 4th of July, because we figured, maybe we'll get something in the morning on the 4th was like the plan. Yeah, and then was I think the day, maybe the 2nd it was. We did just a little sweat training in the pool. I think afterwards we were, everyone in the shop who was like working the drills was like, yo, dude, you guys want to grab like some food or something? Anyone want to go? I think everyone was pretty busy except for me and Chief. And then we were like, sweet dude, let's just go to like one of the restaurants on the island, grab a beer and just kind of chit chat and grab some food. Sat there for a little bit. I was like kind of like venting to Chief. I was like, dude, I want a case. Like, this is BS. Like what the heck, man? Like, I need something. Like, it's been so long. He's like, don't worry. Like, you never know when the alarm's gonna go off when you're on duty, what it's gonna be. Like, you just got to be ready. And he's like, yeah, just wait. It's gonna happen. Don't worry. Like, it's fine. You didn't pick a busy unit. Like, that's on you, man. Like, should have gone to Clearwater is pretty much what he's saying. And and then I was oncoming the next day on the 3rd.
Yeah.
So just normal oncoming duty. We went on a normal RT2, which is just a hoisting training flight. Had the crew, right? Normal crew of me, Ian, Blair, Seth. So Seth was coming RFF from Mobile. So request for forces. We were just short some people on the maintenance side, and they needed all the maintainers to just be doing maintenance and not their collateral of flying. So they requested some flight mechs that were qualified to come up. Seth came up first duty day.
Love it.
We went on a normal training flight. It was pretty fun. Had a good time. First time meeting Seth. I'd known Ian and Blair for a little bit now, so we're all buddies. Pretty normal. Like, nothing really of note. Didn't get stung by any jellyfish. That's like the biggest thing that stands out to me is like, they're pretty bad here sometimes in the summer. Great. So I was like, oh, I didn't get stung. Like, what a good flight. That was my notion before the next day. And then, went to bed. Nothing out of the normal. 4th of July is going to be the next day. Literally went to bed thinking like, man, if we get a case, it's going to probably be like a sailboat or someone who like doesn't know how to sail out on the 4th of July, just like winging it. And then they're going to get stuck. That's like what I'm thinking like before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Knock out, get some good sleep. Next thing I know, I get a
knocking
on the door.
Game on.
I'm like dazzled, like just kind of getting up still, right? It's early in the morning. It's like 6:45. And then he keeps banging on the door, whoever it is. I'm like, fine, I'll just answer. I'm in my boxers. Pop open the door. It's Ian, aircraft commander. He's like, hey, dude, do you have a chainsaw? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you just woke me up, bro. Like, this is weird. And he's like,
I'm in my boxers. No,
yeah.
I don't have a chainsaw
I'm
next to
I'm
me.
like, look around. I'm like, check my pockets. I'm like, dude, yeah, I don't have a chainsaw. Sorry, Ian. What do you need? He's like, hey, yeah, there's a flood near San Antonio. We're getting launched on it. You're going to probably need like some, entry tools. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense than what I thought was going on. So I'm like, Roger, that sounds good. Change out real quick, run down to the swimmer shop. Grab some throw bags. I had just gone to a swiftwater rescue school.
Nice.
Sierra Nevada Rescue Group puts it on, and we got a spot for me this summer. In May I went, so I just went like 2 months ago to a swiftwater school in Sacramento, California, and
that's awesome.
It was all swimmers. It was all like Coast Guard swimmer guys who were there. I think I was the most junior, which is always fun.
Yeah,
everyone's giving me a hard time, which is totally fair. Don't blame them. So yeah, learned a lot in that school. And then from that school, I knew it was like, okay, cool, we're doing floodwater. And, as I'm getting my gear ready, some more information's coming in. So originally it was like, hey, you're going to be doing building entry to, now it's at a campsite. Okay, cool. Still going to get some entry tools. Like, I don't really know what's at the campsite. Like, I don't have any other information. Putting on my my inland SAR gear at this point, because I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna be urban. Like, I'm probably gonna want. I threw a wetsuit in my bag because I was like, sweet, I'll be in the water. Like, I'll need a thin wetsuit.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah, I was like, sweet, I'll bring my wetsuit with me, and I'll wear my inland SAR pants, so like just a Kuiu pants and like a swimmer t-shirt. I was like, sweet, that'll probably cover me. I'll pack light because we got a long trek. Get some more updates in the text. Hey, now they're just stuck at like an isolated spot. They've been cut off by the river. There's 300 to 500 people. We don't know yet. So around 300 to 500 people are trapped.
Dude, you hear that number? What goes through your head?
We're in the 65. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, dude, we're in trouble. This could be super.
300 to 500 people is the note you guys heard.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
smoke.
Of like isolated, trapped individuals due to the rising floodwater.
Yeah.
Right. So we didn't know like if that was they were in the water. They were isolated because, like the floodwaters rose, the bridge went out, or whatever it may be. Like, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
We're just getting like kind of secondhand information from, our ops boss is, talking to the command center, and the command center is talking to the duty aircraft commander, and he's sending a text out to us. So like, information is super limited, but we know that, hey, there's a lot of people trapped. At this point, they are okay-ish to our knowledge. They're just like isolated somewhere. Yeah. So I was like, sweet, inland SAR gear seems like the right call. I'll bring all my regular swimmer gear as well, bring a wetsuit. And then I was like, sweet, I just went to the Swiftwater course. Let me bring some throw bags. Like, super simple. Like, the biggest thing I learned from that Swiftwater course, 1, know your limits, and then 2, keep it simple. Like, you don't need, especially if you're a one-man team, like we always operate in, because, that course is meant for like Swiftwater rescue crews to go to. Yeah. Right. So you have a team of 12 people. You can do some complex stuff, get some ropes, some lines. You could be, rappelling rafts down. You could be doing all sorts of like crazy work. But our instructor Tim's like, dude, if it's just you, keep it simple. Like, all you need is if you just throw bag, and you guys are all good swimmers because you're, Coast Guard swimmers, right? Like, you just throw the bag and you just like belay them in a little bit and like know your river knowledge. Like, that's usually all you need to do. You don't need this like super complex like rope rescue technique that's going to take 45 minutes to set up. Dude, just throw them the bag and like belay them in. Like, boom, easy. Yeah. Takes 5 seconds. So I was just using that
Smart
knowledge.
Advice.
Yeah, that's the knowledge I was using. I was like, sweet. I got 2 throw bags and like 4 carabiners with me. I could figure everything else out from there. So that was like my very ambitious goals I had. I was like, yeah, I'll just figure it out with 2 bags of rope. Like, I'll be fine. So yeah, we ended up taking the 6553, getting in the air, making our way to San Antonio area, just getting some more details, talking as a crew, kind of what we think is going to happen. Looking at the weather, obviously, we see there's a pretty big storm in that area, right? That's been causing that flood in Kerr County.
Yep.
Get more information, right? It's not in San Antonio. It's to the north and the west. So, the hill country, Kerr County area. So we start heading up that way. We got a position point for, kind of like either the staging area or Camp Mystic, or we didn't really know where we were going at this point. We just knew like get to that area and then we'll get more information. Because it wasn't like a primary call for the Coast Guard. It was an agency assist. So basically what that means is like, if there's a boat sinking offshore, we are the primary asset.
Right. You're going to divert and you're going to go back to your normal duties.
Right.
Okay.
If there's a hurricane, Coast Guard is usually the like primary rescue group. We're coordinating everything.
Yep.
This isn't really our forte, like flood rescue up north, 200 miles away from our area.
Yeah.
Not our zone. So we were as agency assist. So kind of like all these other agencies that you've spoken with, they were requesting, especially Texas Task Force 1, they were requesting additional resources just to get more helicopters in the area because they had those 300 to 500 people stuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like the information we were getting dealt with. We're getting a little closer. We get past San Antonio. We're starting to see a little bit of rain, a little bit of precipitation, seeing the cloud layer drop a little bit. And we're looking at like where we have to go. And it's like, okay, we got to kind of head towards that storm. We're kind of getting in the hills a little bit, but like, that's the only way in, is like everything else is kind of like a big glob. And at this point we hadn't really like fully like seen the bad weather. So we were like, yeah, we'll just keep trekking forward until we can't, and then we'll turn around and assess. But at that point we were just like, yep, let's just keep going to Kerr County area. Cloud layers still dropping. Mountains are getting a little bigger. I think everyone's getting a little antsy of like, okay, like it's getting a little more sketchy. Like it's getting a little more challenging to fly. I'm just trying to back up the pilots in the back seat and the swimmer seat, just being like, yep, like you guys are good. Like I could still see, like we're fine. But like, yeah, all of a sudden, like there's a wall of fog ahead of us and clouds, and we are, hills on the right, hills on the left. And there was a hill in front of us eventually, like maybe a couple 100 yards away. Just kind of like that we're flying through. Yeah. So we're all like, well, that's not good.
Oh my God, dude.
Go double IMC. So just, can't see outside pretty much.
Yep.
I could still see from the swimmer seat looking down and like out the window. I could still see the ground. Ian's hitting the go around button, which basically just flies the helicopter almost on like an autopilot, like out of the area, just up and away, safe, clear. I'm still backing him up, being like, hey man, I could still see the ground, Ian, like you're good. And everyone's like everyone goes into Coast Guard mode, right? Like everyone just goes right to their training. There's no more joking around. It's pretty serious because this is like a serious situation. You have to hit the go around button, double IMC, like that's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was anyone's fault. It was literally just like it happens. Right. Like you go invert an IMC, you weren't planning on it.
Well, I know the weather out there was absolute shit.
Yeah.
It was awful.
And I mean, we didn't fully realize that until afterwards. After we went double IMC, we were able to get kind of an approach into San Antonio, land there, get some fuel after we flew away and stuff. And, we were able to get the fuel. Then we start checking our phones because now we're like on deck. And now we're looking at like the news channel. First thing we do when we get into the airport, they got it on the news, Kerr County flooding. And we're like, oh, I think that's where we're going. And then I remember one of the fuel guys who's helping us fuel up. He's like, oh, where are you guys heading to? Like, Coast Guard, you're pretty far away from home. We're like, oh, we're just going to some like flood in like San Antonio. He's like, oh, you guys are going to the flood. We're like, what do you mean the flood? Like, we don't know anything. Like, we literally only thing we knew is like, yeah, there's some people stuck. So like this random, fuel worker at the San Antonio airport knows where we're going. And we're like, dude, that's weird. Like, this must be a pretty big thing. I think that was probably the first time it really set in like, oh, this is like a big thing. Like, this isn't like little potatoes. This is big potato. It was like, yeah, it's going to be a big case.
What's funny about that fueler is he probably had helped fuel the other 15 helicopters that were in and around going in and out of that area.
Right. Yeah, totally. That's definitely what it was.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. So, we do that, get our fuel, come up with a flight plan. We're a little more cautious, I think, on this one because everyone was super uncomfy, obviously, going double IMC. Like, no one wants to do that. So, we came up with a new plan. We were like, hey, we're gonna look at the radar, try to find a hole, and we're just gonna get to the next closest airport we can, and then reassess. So we were just like, hey, like basically like almost like checkpoints in like a video game. Like you have to get to the next checkpoint, and then you can reset and then reassess and then get to the next checkpoint. And then at any point you feel unsafe, you turn around and go to the last like save almost.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's pretty much what we did was we took off. We went past the Bourne airport and we were like, okay, if we have to turn around, that's where we're going. Got past it maybe like 20, 30 minutes. Weather's getting a little dicey. We know it's getting, it was probably like as bad as it was previously, but we weren't in the clouds yet. So we were like, sweet, let's err on the side of caution so we don't have to do that again. Let's go back to Bourne and reassess. Flew back, landed there, reassessed a little bit, checked the weather, found another hole where we're checking the radar. We're like, okay, I think we can pop through here. Like there's a little break in the cloud coverage and the precipitation. Let's try do that. And then same thing, like get past the safety airport we had, come in, it's a little dicey. Let's turn back around, get to the new landing spot, reassess. So literally we're just like inching forward, like airport by airport until we can get to, and mind you, like San Antonio to Kerr County should take you like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Like not even like flying, like you could be there in 20 minutes if you're in a helicopter. So the fact that it took us like 5 hours of like hopping back and forth between little airports,
good night.
definitely like a little demoralizing. I think for the crew, we're like, yeah, at this point we've been flying for, you know, we had not flight time, but we left at 6. We left at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we've been in the air or on deck for the last like 5-6 hours, just trying to like get to. We haven't even gotten to the rescue case yet. We're just still trying to get there.
Wow.
Yeah, and as to learn now that, you know, everyone was experiencing the same thing. Like it wasn't just us. Like it wasn't like we were just struggling to fly in. No, every crew was having the same issues as us. So that was at least like afterwards, it was like, oh, we're not a bad crew. Like we did everything right. Like everyone was experiencing the same thing. Because I think, especially like pilots, like I think they were being really hard on themselves. Like, oh, they put us in this double IMC position. They put us in bad weather. But like turned to come out like, but no, like we had to. Like that was the only option. And like we made the safest decisions we could. And you know, obviously we're pretty safe.
Yeah. I think that was for everybody too that was going in and out of there too. I mean,
yeah,
like you said, everybody was struggling. So.
Yeah, right. So, you know, finally, you know, we're checking the radar. This is the fun part of like getting in there is, you know, everyone's got a different role.
Yep.
Flying. So like Ian, aircraft commander, he's actually flying the aircraft most of the time. Blair's doing solely communications. Seth is doing like Apple Maps and like topography. So like he's like trying to figure out like where we need to fly in, and then I'm on my phone like looking at radar. So like between the 4 of us, like total crew resource management there, like trying to find a safe way into, you know, wherever we had to go, like to that leg of the trip. You know, we did that for the last couple hours, made our way to Hondo Airport, which ends up being the same airport everyone decided was the safest option.
Yep.
Was not planned. We had no comms with them. It was not like oh yeah, let's all meet at Hondo. It was literally everyone seeing the radar, every aviator making the same decision because that's what made sense. Which is like looking back, it's like that's like a pretty cool, like neat aspect where it's like, yeah, like we're all like no matter where like you get your training from or stuff, like it's all like the same principles apply. Like where it's like, yeah, everyone's thought that was the safest option. So yeah, we show up and there's like 8 Army aircraft there. There's like DPS there. And we land, get fuel, hop inside, and then yeah, the Texas Task Force rescue swimmers are there too. And I'm like, sweet, we got some more swimmers here. I'm not alone anymore. That's cool. You know, we're chatting with the Army guys, and it like came like big picture for me because they were looking at us and like our crew as if like we were like, you know, experts and like we knew what we were doing. And like it's my first case. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm trying to like ask.
Dude, that's like, my favorite part about this whole thing right now, because everybody there is like way experienced.
Oh yeah,
been doing it for 10, 20 years.
Oh my god, yeah. And then I'm walking in like, what's up, guys? Like I don't know anything. Like, hey, Scott, nice to meet you.
I love it.
Yeah, so you know, we're at the airport. We're talking to the guys. Talking with the Army, like just like logistical planning. Like out of a movie almost. Like it's so like looking back, it's like so funny. Like we were just like writing on a whiteboard, like, all right, tail numbers. Like, cool. Alamo 1, you guys are going to this camp. You know, Alamo 2 and 3, you guys are going to this one. 6553 and this crew, you guys are going to Mystic. And it's like we were like, all right, cool. Like whatever that means. Like we have no idea. Like we had no idea what the campsite's condition were. We just knew there was people stuck. Information was pretty limited at that time for us. So yeah, it was just like literally like a whiteboard writing of where we're going. That was all we had. Which
awesome.
Is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty sweet stuff. I remember asking one of the task force guys, like one of the rescue swimmers there, I was like, hey, do we know any like condition of patients? Like, do we know anything? Like, do I need to bring like extra medical gear? Should I be like bringing a backboard with me? Should I expect like just so I could start prepping stuff? Because like as like a EMT, like a new EMT, a new rescue swimmer, I'm just trying to get like as much information I can. And the dude, I forget his name, but he's like, nah, what you see is what you get, man. I was like, all right, like that works. So I'm like, sweet. I got no information. The only information they had was that like everyone was on higher ground at that time. but was still isolated. No one's there yet. No one can get in. Like this was like the first, like we were like one of the first crews going in, pretty much is what we were told. So we were like, all right, sweet. Like we'll figure out a way to get there. You know, after that, like kind of started making our way back to the helicopter. Before that, I was talking with the Texas Task Force guys, and I was like, "Hey, like, what kind of gear are you guys wearing?" Like, newbie over here, like, doesn't even know what to wear. Because
you got your wetsuit.
Yeah, they're in full dry suits.
Oh yeah.
Like they're in
sure.
they're in like their normal swift water, floodwater rescue gear. And I'm like, I have pants and a t-shirt, and my boots, and then I have a wetsuit. And then I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, dude, like, because when we were flying in, we could see the river.
Yep.
Like, you know, expanded 100, 200 feet wider than it should be. Just brown water, things floating in it, trees in the middle, cars going down. It's like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I want to get in that water right now, especially if it's just our crew and we're solo. And, you know, as we were talking with the teams for the Army, we were kind of getting our tasking. Our mission we were given, like the actual mission we were supposed to take on, was just moving the people from Camp Mystic to a triage site.
Nice.
There's like another crew that was, I'd call it like, I think they had a better word for it. I just call it like spot rescue, where it's like you spot them, you rescue them.
Oh, right.
So
on.
it's like, hey, there's someone in a tree over here. Like, sweet, we're sending a crew to go grab them. You know, oh, there's like 5 people in the middle of the river. They're clinging onto a bus. Cool. Okay, spot rescue. Grab those 5 people and then move on. Our task was like a mass triage / like get them out of the scene case. So, you know, they were like, hey, you Coast Guard, you guys are going to go with, I think it was Alamo 3, which is the San Antonio National Guard, one of their crews. They're from San Antonio, so they were the Alamo crew.
Yeah.
Dope names. Those guys were so cool.
Your dust off boys.
Yeah, dust off crew. Yeah, those guys were awesome. So we were kind of leading the charge with them. They were like, you guys have better radar capabilities, and I'm in the 65, so you guys can lead the way kind of through the mountain pass. Not mountains, but like the hills, to try to get to the campsite. Because at this point, we're still, 20 miles away from the site. And to get to the campsite, we need to go through all the weather that's been sitting there. And the fog layer's low, and you're in hills, unfamiliar territory, nothing's lit up, kind of gloomy. So have fun getting there. Pretty much all we got. So we kind of came up with a plan with what we had. With all the other 60s, the plan was to go to Camp Mystic and start not extricating, but like, land or hoist, depending on what the situation was. Mostly everyone decided just to land because there's 2 landing zones that were big enough, to land at Camp Mystic, load up survivors, take them to a, higher level of care, or just like a evac site that they kind of set up, and then drop them off and then go get the next crew.
Nice.
Because at that point, all the roads were completely covered with water, couldn't get anything in. And I think they were saying that like boat rescue was a terrible option.
Oh my gosh.
Like not safe, like definitely way more dangerous than flying in.
Yeah. The boat crews were having a really hard time with the engines on the boats just overheating. So
yeah. So crazy. I think they kind of decided like, hey, the only way to get people out is going to be, helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we left with Alamo 3 out of Hondo Airport, started making our way to the campsite. Same thing we had coming in, really bad weather. We got all 4 of us in the back, like sitting on our phones, looking up, checking radar, checking maps, to the point where like I'm like, hey, I think there's like a weather pattern like to our like northeast, like given like, oh, it's at like, like 30 degrees, looks like it's like 1.5 miles wide, showing purple, extreme precipitation, like not good. Don't want to fly in that.
Yeah.
And then Seth's looking at my map. He's looking at his like Apple Maps and like a topographical map. He's like, yeah, there's like a little river pass to the left of that. Like kind of like where the river kind of splits, goes left. And then I'm looking at the radar again. I'm like, yeah, I think like we'll actually clear it if we take that left instead of going straight to the airport, like straight to the landing site. So yeah, now we're completely deviating course because me and Seth are looking at maps being like, yeah, the radar's a little better that way. So yeah, like everyone's helping fly. Like it's like a total team effort to get us to the camp like safely.
Yep.
So yeah, we finally break through some of that bad weather. The 60's still behind us. The mighty 60, she's still behind us. We kind of punch through, get to like the, what do you call it? Like the massive site of like where all the rescues are happening.
Yep.
Dude, we just pop up and there's like 15 other helicopters in the air.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like everyone else had either left like right before us, come from a different spot, or like everyone basically saw the same gap in the weather and showed up at the same time. because I mean, everyone's been trying to get in here since 6, 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
So now you finally have a small enough break where everyone wants in. And now you have, boom, 15 helicopters in the same airspace, maybe like the same like 2-mile airspace. Terrifying. Yeah, that was one of the scariest moments, because there's like the TCAS is going off. Like you're just getting all these alerts of like traffic, 3 o'clock, low, less than 1 mile. Traffic, 12 o'clock, low, less than 1 mile. Like traffic, 9 o'clock, high, less than 1 mile. It's like everything's like right on top of you. And it's like we're all just like trying to spot aircraft, and like Seth's flying in the back pretty much just telling the pilots to like brake left, brake right, come up, come down, because like he's seeing stuff that they're not seeing because they're worried about other things. So it's like we needed the full crew to be like on their game when we got into the space. Yeah, super gnarly, super cool. Like looking back, like that's like a wild, like I could still see it like in my head. Like what a wild feeling and experience that was, just like seeing so many different aircraft. So just to like paint the picture, we come up. I'm looking to my right. I see a helicopter. I think it's DPS, just from what I've seen from what their birds look like, hoisting someone out of a canopy, like tree canopy.
Yeah.
So they're
totally
hoisting.
DPS.
Yeah. They're hoisting out of a tree canopy. Look to my like right in front of me, and there's like a 60 doing an orbit over the river. Right. So they're probably just looking for people. Look in front of us. I see 2 birds orbiting in front of us, like a little higher, maybe like 500 feet.
Yeah.
And then to our left is where all the campsites are. And I could see 2 60s landing, 2 taking off, and 1 on deck.
Holy
so
smoke.
like
yeah.
So like within like the first like 30 seconds, I've seen 7 different aircraft. And I'm like, and you know, the swimmer seat in the 60 is not very good visibility.
No, you have kind of like the one window to your right. You're like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm like, if I could see 7 out of my little dinky window, what are these guys seeing on like the front windscreen?
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
yeah, definitely like just like managing the airspace. Because again, we're all like so eager to get to the campsite. Like all these people are still stuck. We don't know about their condition. We're all like ready to go do SAR, right?
Yeah.
So we get there. Ian makes best call of the day. He's like, hey, I think I'm going to go land. And we were like, yeah, let's do that. Like, screw this. Like, we don't want to keep flying in the airspace. Like, it's just so crowded. So we landed at a like small little, he'll talk about this more, but like, yeah, just kind of like landed at a random spot. I think it was like an old abandoned runway strip or something. Good spot to land, kind of out of the chaos. We can monitor the radio, listen to a little bit, figure out like what's going on, do that for a few minutes. And then that's when we're having our crew discussion about like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, we're on scene. Like we've been trying to get on scene the last 9 hours. Like, what do we do now?
Yeah, because at this point, officially, you guys are bagged right now. Is that?
We're pretty much, we're almost bagged out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So bagged out is 6 hours of flight time.
Mm-hmm.
And
6 hours of flight time.
Do you have a duty day time period too?
Yeah, ends at 3 usually.
Yeah. So at the end of the 24 hours, you guys could be officially, well, you should be off duty, right?
Yeah, we should be off duty
you
at
need
3.
Command approval to continue. Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Command approval, and then command approval to do anything past 6 hours.
Okay.
So at this point, you know, our flight time maybe was at like 4 hours or 4.5 hours or so.
Okay.
But we left at 7. It's now 2:30.
Yeah.
And we're just getting on scene. So it's like we've had a full day mentally, maybe not flying. We only flew like 4.5 hours with stops and stuff. But it's like we've had a full day.
Yeah. Oh,
and we are just starting case. Like, okay, cool. Like, congrats. Like,
Now
basically
you're
like
here.
swimmer school in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, like, you know, like you do all this, like you do PT all morning, you're tired, you're smoked, you worked out all day, you ready for your multi.
Let's go.
You know? So it's like one of those situations where it's like, yeah, like you're tired, you've had a long mental day, and you're just getting started. Like you haven't even started, you haven't done anything yet, really. You just got there. So we're talking as a crew, kind of like figuring out like, okay, what do we do now? We come to the decision, obviously, 65, a little limited in space. Didn't have a lot of winds because that storm that was causing all the rain just sat there.
Yeah.
Had no wind. The storm just sat. I think that's probably why it flooded so bad. Honestly, like I'm not a weather guy, but like my dumb knowledge is telling me, yeah, if there's no wind, then the storm stays in the same spot and dumps rain. It's going to be rainy.
Yep.
So we were kind of dealing with that, just not having a lot of wind. 65's a little limited with no wind. So as far as power and like just having ability to like put people in the cabin, we kind of came to a crew decision, and I was totally for it. I was like, dude, leave me there. Like, leave me on scene. I was like, bro, like I'm not going to be that useful as a rescue swimmer. If our mission is just to like pick up people and take them to a triage site, Like, just leave me there. Like, I'll be way more useful on the ground
Yeah.
doing something. Like, I don't know who's been there. We don't know who's been there. If there's anyone there, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I could just help out like the other EMS guys who are like working the scene.
Yeah.
If there's like 10 of us, like, we could probably make fast work of 200 kids and like get them all packaged up and get them out of there.
Yep.
So I was like, sweet, like, leave me on scene. We'll come up with that. Save some space in the cabin. Talk with Ian. He's like, cool. When we get there, we'll probably have space for like maybe like 300 pounds of people. So he's like,
Okay.
sweet, like, just, grab as many people as you think will be 300 pounds. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. So we land. We attempt to make the first landing into the campsite. There's 2 landing sites. There's one that's like a soccer field that's like more north.
Okay.
And then there's another site which is the archery field. I just call it the archery field because I had a bunch of archery targets on the side.
No, okay.
So we come in for our landing. We might have been the first ones to land at the archery field because as soon as we came in for the landing, we blew all the signs down,
Oh, that's funny.
all the archery stands. So
yep.
like they all blew right down. We went to go put it down in the ground, just get the landing gear on deck, and we started sinking in a little bit. The ground's pretty wet, right? So Seth's giving call outs. He's like, yeah, come up, like up 5. We're sinking in. Let's back it up. So Ian kind of back taxis us over 100 yards, lands back down, not sinking in as much. They're like, sweet, Scott, you're good. Hop on out. So I'm like, sweet, sounds good. And I obviously when we flew into the scene, I kind of could see I could see the scene I was getting put into. I brought those throw bags. I brought my wetsuit. I brought my fins. I was like ready to be like the, search and rescue guy, like getting in the water. And then I like kind of saw like where all the people were and like how far away the water was. And it looked like there's maybe like 20, 30 feet of elevation, maybe like 100 yards away. So I was like, yeah, I don't think I need any of that. So I just left all my, I left my fins, my wetsuit, throw bags. I just left them in the plane because I was like, dude, I'm not going to need them. Like, I need to be pretty mobile.
Yep.
Hopped on out, got to the scene, talked to the first camp counselor. I was like, hey, I could take 4 right now and then I'll be right back. Or I think I said, that's a lie. I said, I'll take 6. I think I could take 6 of you guys.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. And then, took 6 of them over to the 65 and Ian's looking at me like, no, we're not going to have enough room. Like, you got to take 2 back.
4.
So 4.
You can have 4.
You can have 4. So I was like, all right. So I had to be like the mean guy and like grab 2 kids back off the plane, be like, hey guys, come with me. I'll bring you out in the next one. I did bring my bag of foamies with me. I had them in my pocket.
Oh, nice.
So I just always have like a random pack in my duty bag. Like,
That's
maybe
so
like,
funny. So do I.
maybe like 50 of them, just like just in case, like
You
you need
never
them for
know.
like a couple survivors.
Right.
So yeah, I just gave them to those kids, and took them took them back to the main site. I was like, hey, I'll get you guys on next one. Like, I'm sure there'll be someone back soon. No worries. Talk to the camp counselor. I'm like, hey, like how many other rescuers are here? And she's like, you're the first one we've seen. I was like, huh? Yeah.
Okay.
It was
All
like
right.
one of those like fake moments where I was like, yeah, like how many, like, hey, who's been here before? And she looked me dead in the eyes and was like, you're it. And I'm like,
Dude.
all right, sweet. Looked around, the helicopter took off. It got a little quiet. And I was like, all right, let's go to work.
Fucking right, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my
so-
God.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, yeah, just kind of started like doing my, I probably took like a good like 15 seconds to be like, shit, what do I do now? Like, I got on scene, like, I don't know what to do now. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've never trained for this. I don't know what this is going on. I didn't think I'd just be left here. Like, all those things start spiraling in your head where you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then about 5 seconds went by and I was like, triage, that makes sense. Like, I'll start triaging everyone. So I just kind of went around to the groups, made a quick assessment of everyone, just like checking in, literally just doing the thumbs up game of like, hey, you good? You good? Like, just going to everyone, like pointing, being like, you guys okay? Like, you guys have any injuries? A lot of the kids are just sad, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're,
Yeah.
they got swept out, or rather, like the rain happened, the flood came. They got to higher ground rather quickly because they were obviously all able to make it out. A lot of the camp counselors were making like pretty rough decisions of like throwing kids out windows and like getting them out of the, out of the camps that were getting swept out.
Yeah.
So that's what they've been dealing with all morning. They're alone. It's rainy. They don't know what's going on. They're missing friends. So I'm checking in with all them, making sure they're good. Primarily, just number one, just for like my medic training. Like, dude, okay, injuries. Let's check injuries. Everyone was pretty good. A couple people were cold, a little hypothermic, but like very mild. Like they were just chilly. I don't think anyone was actually hypothermic yet. Weather was maybe like 80 degrees. None of them were like still wet. I mean, they were damp, but like they weren't like sitting in the water or anything, which is good.
Right.
You know, a couple nicks and bruises, just from getting out in a rapid way. Couple twisted ankles, some like sore knees and stuff. But like everyone for the most part was able to walk. They all could have walked on their own. Some of them just were like limping a little bit. And so, you know, kind of prioritize those guys first if they had any injuries, getting them out, and then going from there. You know, with the injury aspect is like, okay, prioritizing. I'm trying to come up with a list now in my head of like prioritizing like who goes where, how am I going to get them out of here? When's the 65 coming back?
Yeah.
And then as I'm doing this, I'm like checking on the first couple groups. Boom, Army 60 lands. They're coming in.
Nice.
So I was like, sweet, that works. Like that'll be perfect. Like help like get these kids out of here. All right. So then the task force guys come, right? Two of the task force swimmers. I see them step off. They're in their neon high vis gear, dry suits. I'm like, sweet, I got some reinforcements. Let's go. I'm not alone anymore. And then they're like, hey man, how you doing? Like we saw you at the airport. I'm like, I'm good, man. Like I'm here alone, like whatever. I'm starting to triage, just like very brief, like after they stepped away from the aircraft, just talking.
Yeah.
They're like, sweet, we could take 15. And then they pile up 15 with me. Like together we grab 15 kids. They give a quick brief and we walk them all to the aircraft. And then that was it. And then they all got back in. I walked away, closed the door for them. Their two swimmers were back on board and they took off. And then I'm alone again. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like maybe that's like it like kind of started to set in like, okay, that should be the like routine.
Yeah.
Of like, cool, they step off. I get 15 kids, bring them to the helicopter. They take off. I go back to triage.
Yeah.
So I think it probably took like maybe 2 of them landing before I was like feeling like, okay, I got this. Like I know what I'm doing now. So yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing for those 3 hours on scene, was just like staying with the massive group, prioritizing based on like injuries, coldness, and then just taking the youngest kids first, right? Like just trying to be nice and be like, okay, cool, these kids have been out here the longest. Or if one of the camp counselors comes to me and is like, hey, these kids are having like a breakdown right now, like 200 yards away. Can you take them next?
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. Like, let me think about my prioritization again. All right, sweet. These guys are a little old, like the kids, right?
Yeah.
So you have like anywhere from ages ranging from like 8 to like 17 probably.
Wow.
You know, so if I had like 2 kids who like had like some dings on their knee or like twisted ankle, but they were like 16, 17, and then I had like a crying 8-year-old, I'm taking the crying 8-year-old.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's
For
just
sure.
like, yeah, that prioritization like list I kind of had is always changing, where it's like, yeah, like normally you'd want to take the injured first and then the cold and then the youngest and then take everyone else. But like sometimes that's going to change on the situation. So I just kind of was like thinking on the fly, just kind of winging it for the most part. And then, yeah, like in between, like after, like, you know, I don't need to keep triaging everyone all day. Like I don't have to keep checking in with everyone, but like I'd go around and just introduce myself. Like I was doing that on the triage too. Cause like I got a little sister, so I get it. Like I know being around like little kids. My cousin has a kid. Both my cousins have kids. They're 4 and 3 and I hang out with them all the time. So like I get it. And I used to teach like karate courses for kids. So like I'm totally used to like being around kids. Like I get it. Like,
Yeah.
so just like being like a calm presence is probably all they needed for the most part. So I was just trying to like console them and just kind of like just be a human, right? Like I don't need to be this like macho rescue swimmer dude. I just need to be like a person to these kids and like just make them feel safe and comfortable. So that's like mostly what my job was down there, is like triage and then like comfort and consoling like a bunch of scared kids.
Yeah.
And just keeping them calm, right? Because like this is the first time they've seen anyone not. Because like even the camp counselors, like they were all being super like strong and brave and tough, but like they're freaking out too because they're experiencing this for first time as well. You know, they've been out in the elements since like 1 a.m. So like they're obviously all having a bad day. And then here comes the fresh swimmer who's like ready to go. And I'm like, sweet, I got you guys. Like,
and they are all looking at you as like, he knows what's going on. He's gonna know what to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Which is funny because like, yeah, I'm talking to them and I could tell some of them are like a little worried, obviously, right? And they're like, I remember one of the little girls is like asking me, she's like, do you know what you're doing? like look like concerned. And I was like, yeah, don't worry, I do this all the time. I was like, and then like another one's like, and then like, and now we're Like, it got to the point, like, after a little bit, after I'd been there, I could see them all, like, starting to, like, calm down and, like, let their guard down a little bit and, like, not be as, like, scared.
Yep.
And now they're, like, talking, they're having conversation, they're being, like, funny, like, they're making jokes, and they're like, oh, like, what have you done? Like, do you know how to do this? And I'm like, oh yeah, don't worry, we were on a boat rescue last night. Like, this stuff happens all the time. Like, I'm just trying to, like, do whatever I can to, like, convince them that I'm, like, totally professional and, like, do this all the time. And then I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, dude, I feel terrible because, like, all these kids are gonna see me on, like, the news, and they're gonna be like, wow, he lied to us. Like, this was his first case.
It was for good reason.
Yeah,
okay?
totally. Yeah.
And you're owning it now. You're owning it now.
Yeah, I'm owning
so
it now.
Accepted. Approved.
Yeah, I've accepted that I lied to a bunch of kids. But I think, like, I think just being, and they talk about this in swimmer school too, and, like, because you've been to school, and, like, all the swimmers I've talked to have said this, like, people, like, if the Coast Guard's coming to get you, the biggest thing is, like, they know they're safe.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, you just need to be a calm in the world of chaos. And that's literally, I've, like, not trying to toot my horn, but that's, I feel like, the only thing I did productive that day.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, I triage, whatever. Like, I wasn't, like, doing any crazy rescues like some of the other guys were out of trees, but I was, like, my main job was just to be a calm in the chaos.
Yeah.
Pretty much all it was.
Our job is, and I remember this specifically in swimmer school, was to maintain control of the scene.
Yeah, right.
And I think back, like, I'm like 20, 21, 22 years old and going through school. And then I get to my first rescue and I'm like, holy cow, telling everybody what to do. All those guys are, like, way more experienced than I am on a boat. And I'm like, you need to do this. And they're,
yeah, same thing.
I empathize.
Just telling them,
totally
just telling all the, like, camp counselors, like, hey, I need you guys to move here.
Yeah.
Get your group of 15 ready. You guys are the next crew.
Yeah.
Just kind of, like, organizing that. And then, as things progressed, like, with the rescue, we got pretty good with the Army guys and the task force team, where, like, they didn't even have to, like, get out of the helicopter towards the end. Like, they would just, like, give me a number. They'd be like 1-5, and then I'd give them a thumbs up. I'd grab 15, give them a brief, and just walk them right over. So that's kind of like after the second. So, like, they didn't even have to leave the helicopter. They could stay close. I'd escort them in. Maybe some of the swimmers would come out and help me, like, grab them in. But, like, yeah, for the most part, like, it started going super smooth after, like, the first, like, hour or two.
But you were left on scene that whole time, pretty much by yourself with all the survivors.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Limited radio comms. As you know, like, our swimmer radios work good when they have a direct line of sight with the helicopter we're talking to. But obviously our crew went to another, like, landing site. They went to another zone. So I didn't really talk to them at all. Like, I think I got, like, maybe 2 radio chirps in the whole time when I could see them. And I was like, I'm good, guys. Have fun. And I'd put my radio back down.
Did they ever come back to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The crew?
The 65.
Yep. Yeah, they picked me up at the end.
Oh, so that was the only other time you saw them. The rest of the time was all 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a trip. So they drop you off. You load 4 kids in. 4 kids into our 65. And then they bail, and you don't see them again until the end when they're picking you up.
I saw them one time when they flew overhead. And that's
oh,
it.
my gosh.
Yeah.
The rest of the time was all 60. So out of all the girls that are there, the award write-up says 169.
Right.
I've heard 165.
Yep.
I've also heard 160. Do you have an actual count?
Yeah. So the reason there is a number attached to it is because I was, again, like, thinking like a textbook, like, like
your accountant,
brand new.
Your accountant came in.
Yeah, literally. I was
numbers
like,
guy. Let's go.
Yeah. My initial thought was like, okay, we don't know where everyone is. There's probably people missing and unaccounted for. I need to keep track of everyone I've seen and, like, got off the X, basically.
Yeah.
So every time I put a crew of kids onto one of the Army 60s, I would write down on my phone in, like, my notes app. Like, as soon as I, like, put them on, I would be walking back to the main group and I'd be typing, being like 15 with Army. And then next time I did another 15, it'd be like 2 sets of 15 with the Army.
Wow.
And then the next time they only needed 12. So then I'd write, like, 2 sets of 15 with the Army, 1 set of 12 with the Army. And so I had, like, a running total the whole time I was there.
Super smart, dude. Wow, that's great.
And then, like, I was also, like, when I was on scene, I was able to talk with a couple of the camp counselors because obviously, like, I had a lot of time and I was like, I need to be productive. Like, I need to do something besides just, like, the triage, just to try to see if there's anything else I can do because I'm the only one on scene here.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to the camp counselors and I was like, hey, what what other camps are here? I know there's another crew going to this campsite, another crew going to this campsite. Like, give me the names. Like, are there anyone there? Like, I'm just trying to play like the numbers game because I'm thinking like on scene coordinator, like big picture. I'm like, I'm it. So it's like, cool. I need to like be doing all these big picture things like that they talk about in like the like dumb little like FEMA courses online you do.
Totally.
Like where it's like, yeah, like unseen commander needs to do like all these stoic things. And I'm like, nah, dude, just like, so I'm talking to all these camp counselors and I'm just trying to get information.
Yeah.
So I'm writing down like, cool, there's another camp called Lake Cypress or whatever. And there's 200 people there. So I'm like, sweet, boom, we know there's people there.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, well, there's no one at this one because they left for 4th of July weekend. So I'm like, perfect. Let's not waste. Like, I don't know what they know upstairs, like, or DJ knows, like being the on scene, like the ops boss.
Yep.
So I'm just writing all this down in my notes app. You know,
so when you go back, you can brief everybody. Here's the information I got from on scene.
Yeah, I think it was either DJ or Brian, maybe. I'm trying to remember who, but one of the task force guys.
Yeah.
When we got back to the Hondo airport or wherever we landed, I forget which one it was, but we landed back. I was like, dude, can I give you my number? And I could send you my notes from the day because I have all this information that like I was able to track and like maybe it'll be useful. And he's like, oh, thanks, dude. That's perfect. I was like, oh yeah, like I guess that was a good idea. Like, not terrible. And then I was able to talk to our our ops boss at Corpus about afterwards because he just wanted a debrief from like Big Coast Guard wants to know what's going on and kind of what we were doing.
Yeah.
So I was able to, I literally on the phone, when I was on the phone with our ops, I was like, give me 5 seconds. I'm going to open my calculator app and figure out how many we got out. And I wrote down, I like had the number ready and I was like, sweet. Yeah. We put 165 onto Army helicopters.
Yep.
And then I put 4 onto our 65 before they took off.
Got it.
So I was like, sweet. I mean, yeah, I guess I put 169 total, but I did 165 just with myself with the Army.
Yeah.
And then our crew took that at four, like the first 4 kids. And then, you know, our 65 came back with Ian, Blair, and Seth, and, you know, they radioed to me like, we got to go. They landed. They were taking me regardless, just because I think we were, one, they think they were low on fuel.
Yeah.
2, we were pretty much out, like we were bagged out of time.
Oh, yeah.
So we were at like 7 hours at that point. So, yeah, they kind of had to pick me up. And they were planning on going back so they could swap out crews.
You're like looking around, you're like, but I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I felt bad leaving. So there was still about 32 people left.
Okay.
32 kids and, you know, camp counselors and such on scene. So I was very adamant that I did not want to go, but I knew that at that point, most of the work had been done. You know, two more 60s are going to come and pick up those last two groups. They'll probably be out of there in 20 minutes.
What did you tell the camp counselors when they came back to pick you up? Like, what do you pass on to them?
Yeah, so I told them, I was like, hey guys, like my crew's picking me up. There should be 2 more 60s right behind us, just like 20 minutes. You guys will be out of here in 20 minutes. Gave them hugs. I was like, I'm sorry, nice. I gotta leave you guys. Like, you guys are gonna be all right. And they were just thankful. Like, there was definitely a lot of tears from them.
Watching you leave,
just like saying goodbye, because like I had been with them for the last like 3 hours. Like, all the like some of the older camp counselors, like, and like the adult like workers there, had been with them for the last 3 hours, and they're definitely like, wow, this like our helper's gone. Like, they definitely were a little emotional. I was emotional because I was like, job's not done. Like, there's still people out there.
Dang.
So yeah, I had to leave. Came back. Was definitely pretty tired at that point. Like, I had been on my feet the last 3 hours, just running around. Doing triage, hadn't set in yet kind of like what we had done. I was just focused on getting back in the helicopter and, you know, getting back with the boys and getting back with everyone and, you know, getting back to the airport. So we take off out of there, land back. I think it was at Hondo. Maybe it might have actually, I think it was the Kerrville airport.
Okay.
Because at this point the weather had kind of cleared up a little bit. They were able to land into the Kerrville airport instead of like a local area one. So landing at Kerrville, got on deck. I think we were all like a little smiley because we were like, that was a big case. Like, we got a lot of people. And like, I didn't know
what just happened.
Yeah, we just kind of had one of those moments of like, whoa, like kind of taking a step back. It was like for a couple seconds, it was like actually like we were pretty like stoked.
Yeah.
Because we were like, wow, we actually did something good. Like we landed, we went on the mission, took us all day. We had a lot to debrief as a crew. I feel like we still haven't fully debriefed like even in all the craziness that's happened in the last couple months since the case. But yeah, I remember, got back to the airport, did our debrief, and then I went right to DJ or Brian, maybe. I forget which one. I think it was DJ.
Okay.
And I gave him the synopsis of like, dude, this is what I saw down there. This is who was still left. I was like, there was 32 people there when we left. Like, I hope we got them. Like, hope they sent 2 more, Blackhawks. I think I relayed that to our crew of like, hey, like radio to them, like let them know they just need 2 more and they'll get everyone out.
Nice.
If they put 16 and they kind of overpack it a little bit, because normally they were taking 15.
Yeah.
But they could take 16 if they sneak it. So
it's
they'll
a 60.
be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine on 60. Yeah, right. So, come to turn out, I think it was the next day because we stayed in Kerrville that night.
Yeah.
Stayed overnight. We were leaving and I saw one of the task force guys and he came up to me. He's like, hey, we got those last 32 out. Like the next 2 Blackhawks came like 15, 20 minutes after you guys left. And he was on them. So it was just like a sigh of relief for me of like, okay, like they all got out. Like I knew they were going to be fine. Like they weren't in any like immediate danger anymore.
No, but I get it because you're leaving and all you do is
feel
you
bad.
just hope.
Yeah. Right. Like you're just like assuming and hoping that like everyone's fine. So just to hear it from like another like swimmer being like, yep, they're good. Like we got them out, no issue. Like 20 minutes after you.
Nice.
So I felt good because I was like, they're safe. And then 2, I felt good because I told the camp counselors the right information of like, hey, they're going to come get you really soon.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, 15, 20 minutes later, they got out of there. So that was super cool.
Right on.
And then, from there, like our team's mission was pretty much over. Like that was it. That was our case.
Now you guys left the helicopter there and had another crew come up. Is that right?
Yeah. We started standing duty in Kerrville for about a week.
As the Coast Guard as a whole?
The air station. Yes. So we would take because we have a dual airframe unit here, right? So we have the CASAs, the fixed wing.
Right.
So the duty crew would show up at 3.
Yeah.
Get on the fixed wing. They would take them to Kerrville.
Wow.
Swap out duty crews, take the helicopter.
Wow.
And then they would be the duty crew. Because I think one of the things we were running into up there was that we were the only night capable hoisting asset.
Yeah, one of them. Starflight was another one.
Okay,
I'll help you out with that one.
Yeah, totally.
But it was very limited from what I understand. So nighttime search and you guys were a big asset for that.
Right. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much the big stuff about the write-up and the case. Like that's pretty much kind of what happened, and that's the case.
Holy smoke! All right. So did you? So the Coast Guard left the aircraft up there. Did you ever go back up?
I went up 2 other times. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So not for duty or anything. Just like So like obviously the case kind of got some notoriety pretty quick.
Yeah. Good on the Coast Guard, by the way. Like props to them. The media department, the public affairs, getting the word out.
I think the biggest takeaway for me, and like, again, not like speaking on the Coast Guard's behalf, but like just putting out an unpolished story was awesome.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't some, we didn't have the commandant giving a brief on it. We didn't have, the 2-star admiral for the district giving a brief on it. We didn't have like some polished public affairs team. They had like new guy Scott over here giving everyone the word. Which I like after talking to everyone about it, I think people just appreciated that, where it's like, they got like the operational aspect. There was really no fluff. I wasn't like trying not to say certain things. I was just being honest and telling people what was going on. So I think people appreciated that, which was cool.
Yeah.
So just like we can talk about that really quick, the whole like media.
If you want to,
crazy,
I actually want to talk about
please,
one more thing, because you and I have had multiple conversations offline,
right?
Especially trying to set all this up and make this happen.
Totally.
And it's been fun to listen to your story multiple times. Because one, again, hats off, the story hasn't changed at all. Yeah. Everything you've said is exactly the same way every time. So I know there's no embellishment. There's no, like, you're such a humble dude, man. And to have this big media thing follow you, you've kept an awesome head, and I appreciate that as someone that has seen other people like not do well with it.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, I think Coast Guard gave good like guidance for me. They're like, They're like, dude, you can talk about anything you want if it happened on the case.
Oh, that's
They're
awesome.
like, you don't need to like hide any details. Like, dude, talk about whatever you want if you saw it.
Cool.
So that just makes it so easy to talk about it. So it's like I could talk to the media, I could talk to you, I could talk to my mom, I could talk to everyone, and just tell them the details because it's like, there's no there's nothing to hide, there's nothing to embellish. Like it's just the case.
Yeah.
I think at first the news media kind of spun it a little bit, where they're like, oh, he was in the floodwaters rescuing, he was swimming them one by one, and like I'm like, dude, it's not what happened. Like I get it, like. Yeah,
I did kind of laugh a little bit and this is when you and I were talking the first time, is you're watching TV, and at one point there's a DPS helicopter, Texas DPS, hoisting somebody out of a tree, and they're interviewing you at the same time.
Yeah, it was another Coast Guard air. It was actually Houston.
That's right. That was another one that I saw.
Right.
So the coasties are hoisting this guy off a fifth wheel or something. You're like, hey, that's my boy, and they're like, no, that is you. Well, no, it wasn't. It was the Coast Guard, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, right. It's just how it works. Like, I think, but it was just like funny because, like, again, like unapologetic, just like me. I'm like, dude, that's Omar. He's doing the king's business, getting a hoisted live. Like, what a dog. Like, that guy's the man. Like, what a legend.
Oh,
and then, like, the newscasters, like, are blinking, like, huh? What did this kid just say? And I'm like, oh, sorry about that. Let me go back to being normal.
Oh god, that's funny.
But yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster, but it's been cool. And like, my biggest takeaway is like, I'm just glad to like kind of share the story. And
that's awesome.
And then just like my biggest thing I'm trying really hard is like give credit to everyone. Like it's not just the Coast Guard,
right?
Like Coast Guard, we were one of the assets there, but like cool, if we were the only asset there, we weren't taking those 165 people. That was all the Army.
Right. Oh yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Like the Army took him on. So like on that citation and all the awards and stuff I've been getting, mine are like the lives I got were assists.
Yeah.
Right. So it's 165 lives assisted.
Awesome.
Just meaning, which I'm glad they put that in there. It wasn't a save because it's like it wasn't me. Like I was getting them on the helicopter, yes, but like the helicopter took them away. So it's like they should get more of the credit, which I'm happy for.
That's awesome.
And it's cool, man. Yeah, it's been a good experience. So
with when you went back to scene, one of the other things that I remember you saying to me was as much as the devastation was there, and there were like, again, my heart is for all the families that lost people, loved ones that were there. But you were like embraced with open arms coming back, you and the crews going there. And I remember at one point seeing a picture of you holding like a cookie when you were there.
Yeah, so that's a good one. So one of our public affairs team's guys, Perry, he's a third class. His grandmother went to Camp Mystic.
Oh my gosh.
Like when she was younger, yeah. So they had this thing back then. They still do it now. It's called Tweety cookies. So it's just like like you would get a Tweety cookie if you like did a good job, you like cleaned your room right, like normal, like attaboy, like good job. Here's a cookie.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
So, but she made me a whole batch of them. Because she's like, good job, obviously. Like, yeah. So I think that's been a really cool thing too. Like something I didn't expect, like the amount of like, because like Camp Mystic's like a pretty big campsite.
Yeah. Yep.
And there was a lot of people. I feel like everyone I've run into knows someone that had been there, was there, had a family member there.
Yeah.
Which has been super challenging, I think, like mentally, but also like super rewarding where it's like, hey, like I was actually able to like make a difference in people's lives and stuff, which is cool. And
awesome.
A lot of the parents have reached out, just being thankful for like kind of what the crew did and kind of are like me just being careful with their kids, right? Just being like a safety figure for them.
Trained professional.
Semi-trained professional. Yeah, that's kind of how I would put it. But yeah, it was just like a cool like that's moment awesome. Of like, we don't like, none of us do it for like recognitions or accolades. Like it's not really our thing. Like I've been telling everyone like, happy to just kind of slide back into the duty schedule. Like nothing happened and keep going to work. And
that's not going to happen for you.
I know. I'm on duty Monday. So
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And I was just off going 2 days ago. So I mean, I'm still staying duty, still doing normal 3rd/2nd class activities,
as you should.
So which is perfect. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. Chief's very adamant about it too. He's like, dude, good job, but like you're still the new guy in the shop, right. So you still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I think Ian said something super good early on. Was like, hey, like me and him got a DFC, and that's super cool. And like I got like a rank up and stuff, which is awesome. But he's like, when you get in the like, I'm wearing a flight suit right now. Like my rank's not on here.
Yeah.
My awards aren't on here.
Right.
It just says Scott Ruskan, Coast Guard, AST. So like that just trying to keep that in mind and like keep yourself level headed, just knowing like, yeah, you did a cool case and like you got a good award and you got promoted out of it. But like end of the day, you're still a brand new swimmer.
And you have a lot to learn coming up.
A lot to learn. Yeah. Yeah. Like first time I do a hoist, that'll be my first live hoist.
That's so exciting to think about, dude.
So it's like I really don't know that much, and I need to remind myself that, which I think I'm doing a good job so far. But like, yeah, just staying humble. I got a lot to learn. I don't know that much.
Good. I'm actually really excited for you and I to have the conversation of your first boat hoist when you get hoisted down either to the water or a boat, and cool. Whether it's a medevac, whether it's a whatever it is.
Yeah, totally.
I'll be excited to hear that from you.
Yeah. When we get another one, get some more cases under the belt, dude. Love to come back on and keep sharing details with you. It's super fun.
That's good. All right. So my last question for you is, with everything that went on and everything you saw like on scene, is there a piece of advice that you would pass on to everybody else?
That's a good one.
Yeah. And you can think about that for a minute. I kind of dropped that on.
It's good. No, it's a good one. I'll give you the non super elaborate answer. Kind of like bringing it back to like rescue swimmer school and like kind of what I tell all the, like, as everyone asks you now, like, cause now I'm like when we're doing like recruiting tours and stuff. And like, even before that, people would always ask potential recruits, potential rescue swimmer candidates. Everyone wants to be a rescue swimmer. Yeah. They're always asking like, how do you train for school? And I think it's the same way you got to train for the job. And like, probably my biggest lesson learned is like, you got to train for everything. You can't just be like a one size fits all. Like, you can't just be a good swimmer. Yeah. You can't just be a good EMT. You can't just be a good floodwater, swift water guy. You can't just be good at hoisting, because we get put in like crazy situations all the time where it's like, it's so random. It's like, like never in a million years would that write up be like, oh yeah, that's something that's going to happen to you. I'd be like, no, it's not. Like, it's made up. That's not real. That's great. So just circling it back, like same way you train for school and like got me to this point is the same lesson learned, is like, you just got to be sharp for everything. You can't get complacent, and you just got to keep training.
Dude, I love it.
Simple, keeps it easy. Yeah. And then obviously the one from the case itself is like, just be calm. You're the professional. It's not your emergency, it's theirs. So just knowing that's like been my uncle's a retired New York City firefighter for like 30 years. Nice. He's like definitely a big influence in me doing like search and rescue and stuff. And like, he told me that too. He's like, dude, it's not your emergency. Like, they're calling you to help. Like, you're fine. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a great piece of advice. I love that. It's like, just stay calm. Like, you're fine. Yeah. Like, it's not your problem. You're just trying to help them out. Which is very true. Like, it is your problem because now you're having to deal with it. Yeah. But it's a good way to like compartmentalize being like, I'm fine. Yeah, totally helps. And that's how A school is, and like swimmer school and all these rescues. So it all circles back, man. It's cool. I love it. It's cool. Scott, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and everything that happened after you left the helicopter, getting there. My gosh, it's amazing. I am excited to keep talking to you. I'm excited to hear about the rest of your career, because I think you're going to do great things. Yeah. So, dude, thanks, Quinny. Appreciate you, man. And it's fun because I've been listening to this podcast for so long, so stoked to finally be on it. So it's kind of funny, cool, right? Yeah, it's kind of surreal. Yeah. So, well, good job, dude. I'm proud of you and your crew. Representing everybody well, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Anytime. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Go. Now it's time for me to pull chocks and take off. But before I go, I'm always looking for the memorable rescues that people have done. If you have one that you're willing to share, or know somebody who has a story, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to highlight it here at the Real ResQ. For everybody that is standing by for that SAR alarm, remember, those in distress are praying for a miracle. They are going to get you. So until next time, fly safe and swim hard. Thank you for joining me today here at the Real ResQ Podcast, powered by Vertical Helicast. We'd also like to say thank you to our sponsors for this episode.
Breeze Eastern. For over 80 years, Breeze Eastern has designed and manufactured battle-proven aerial rescue hoists, winches, and cargo hooks. Each product is carefully crafted to support demanding mission scenarios, ensuring the job gets done safely and efficiently. Visit them today at www.breeze-eastern.com. Axnis, the Axnis PNG wireless ICS system, delivers cutting-edge wireless ICS technology to any aircraft as a fully integrated system or as a carry-on, carry-off mobile base station. The PNG wireless system is the right solution for any mission.
And Ready Bar. Originally made for astronauts, now designed for first responders and built for you. This high-performance meal bar provides complete nutrition without the sugar crash. A must-have for any helmet bag, swimmer bag, or everyday pack. Get yours today at getreadybar.com and use the promo code RESQ10 for 10% off. Ready Bar. Zero crash. All fuel. Do you have a funny training story? A funny swimmer training event that you might have done and happened to?
Oh yeah, I got a good one.
Okay.
The first time I tried to do a sling deployment,
Okay.
I was doing with Rob, one of the first classes, and it was like the first day in Corpus. It was my first like training flight in Corpus. Had not been on a swimmer flight yet. Had just gotten all my gear. I was using a duck Triton still. Like I had no equipment built up. So we're on a surf ops day. We met up at the beach. We swam out to the water. Got hoisted up. And I think the water depth was over 12 feet, but just to be careful, we were going to do a sling deployment, right? So for everyone who doesn't know, you just basically put yourself in the sling, put your arms around it.
Yep.
They lower you down. You slip out when you're low enough or you feel safe enough. And you could go pretty low and the helicopter could stay high, right? So it's super easy. I'd never done one of those. And the way I watched Rob do it and I was like, okay, yeah, I could probably do that. Like, no worries. The way I put my arms in, I like had my helmet like pinched against my arms in the sling, so I couldn't like look around. And I was like, all right, yeah, like I'll just wing it when I couldn't look down. Like I had no depth perception. My arms were blocking my view. I can only look straight out. So I was like, sweet, I'm going to just like wait a little bit. Like they've been lowering me down forever. It felt like I was like, I'm probably low enough. Like no worries. And I don't really know how to slip out of it properly. Like now I know you could do like the one arm, like caveman thing where you like sling your arm in it and like wait a little bit and slip out. I didn't know how to do that. So I just like slipped both arms out at the same time. Dude, I did like 9 windmills. I was like 25 feet in the air. I did not realize so I slipped my arms out and looked down and I'm like, oh, smokes. I did like 9 windmills.
Oh my gosh.
Landed, totally hit the bottom, like hit the deck, like hit the sand, come up, give the I'm all right. My mask is like sideways, my helmet's like twisted off. I think I broke my snorkel. It's a yard sale. All like my little things that are like dummy corded down, they're all out of my vest. And like I'm with Jesse Cheely and he comes by, he's like, dude, are you okay? Cause like, yeah, he saw me jump at like 20, 25 feet and he's like, dude, that was way too high. Like you're not supposed to do it like that. I was like, I know. Like I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's great.
So that was my welcome to the real world as a rescue swimmer was a sling deployment. I have not messed up one since. So
friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Sweet dude.
Right on.
Appreciate it, Jack Winnie.